What is up, guys? It is closing day. Zakin coming at you for the last episode of the Wholesaling Documentary series. This is an exciting one, guys. I have the check in hand. The money is here, and I'm so excited to break down this deal now. You might be asking yourself a bunch of questions like, Zach, what's up with the new studio? Why do you have so much more hair? And what's going on? I thought that new episode was going to be 2 weeks after. Well, it's been a few months. And it's taken a while, but the final episode of the Wholesaling Documentary is here, guys. So let's break it down. This is the last episode. This is closing day. This is where we get our money. This is where I break down the deal. And we're going to the title company. I got everything done. Everything is documented. This wholesaling film will show you exactly in this episode the closing day process. I'm super excited, guys. But let's break it down. Really, what I wanted to break down is this deal. What happened? A lot went wrong. We saved the deal. I really want to talk about it. So let's talk about it. All right, guys. So yes, it's been a few months. A lot of stuff has changed and we got the deal. So what happened? This is a very interesting one. You might be screaming at me like, Zach, what's going on? What's the situation? But the situation is the seller wanted out of the deal. Remember, we brought the cash buyer through and the seller wanted out of it. They didn't want to deal with it anymore. And it was kind of shocking to me. I was like, what? I filmed all this documentary. I got everything in place. And now you just went out of the deal. It was so upsetting because I was actually hand-holding with the acquisitions team on this one. I was actually putting in my own time, actually trying to close the seller, do the walkthrough with the cash buyer. I really wanted to get back in the trenches and show you the exact wholesaling real estate process. And I was a little upset. I had the decision to make. Should I just scrap this whole documentary film I just did and let the seller go and just go away? Or should I fight like a dog and try to save this deal? Not for you, not for the person watching this documentary film, but for me. I should have done it for me. That's who I was doing it for, and that's what I am doing. So we're breaking it down today. So what happened? Unfortunately, what happened was the seller wanted out of the deal. They didn't want to deal with me anymore. They wanted out. They wanted me out of their life, and they didn't want to deal with me. And they told me they didn't want to move up north anymore, and they didn't want to deal with me. But the honest truth was they just wanted more money. But we didn't know that they were playing games with us. They're lying with us. That guy was actually lying with us, saying he didn't want to sell the property to me anymore. He's just going to stay in the house till he died. He liked his doctors down here, he told me. And I was like, well, shouldn't you just figure that out before you talking to your son about moving back up there, getting the U-Hauls, getting everything done? And I thought he was just getting overwhelmed with the process. But ultimately what happened was he just wanted more money. And and other wholesalers were actually telling him I was not good. I was too young to be wholesaling real estate. And I was actually trying to steal money from him. And they're going to give him $2,000 more. And I was just a terrible person to be trying to take that extra $2,000. And they should just go with an experienced older person. A lot of you guys watching this right now might think, oh my gosh, that's my worst fear. I see that and I just laugh. It's hilarious that these other wholesalers try me because in my market, I try to be the Kobe Bryant of my market. I just want to be on a different level when it comes to wholesaling real estate than the average wholesaler. Average wholesaler is right here. I'm up here above trying to destroy the competition, that Mamba mentality. And it's an easy one for me. Everyone writes me off for my age. I'm 21 years old doing a 7-figure net operation in wholesaling real estate. It's hilarious every time someone wants to try me on this. But they tried me on it. They tried going after my acquisitions team, and it worked on the seller, and they wanted out of the deal. Unfortunately for the seller, I had a cash buyer locked up. We had $5,000 earnest money already locked up. I had a legitimate contract. I had a legitimate earnest money deposit. Everything was perfectly done on my side legally. I had a very, very strong legal agreement. And I wasn't going to play hardball with the seller. I could have been a lot more aggressive with him and said, you're not going, you're staying with this price, and that's it. But I decided to be the nicer route. I wanted this deal to go through. The guy could have stayed and lived in it forever, and we could have gotten this huge battle for the property. But I decided to play the nice route here, and I really wanted this deal to be done so everything can get going and we can get this process really smooth. Luckily for me, we actually met with the seller again, and we renegotiated the deal. And the seller, I thought other wholesalers were telling me getting an extra 15, 20, 30,000. The other wholesalers he was talking to were trying to give him an extra $1,000 to $2,000. Like, it wasn't that much money, but I think the lesson you need to know about this is other wholesalers, they might even offer $1,000 or $2,000 more. And that's everything to that seller. So you really need to write that down and really understand that, because I could have lost that entire deal over $2,000. I was probably going to make 20, 25 grand on this. what was I going to do here? I renegotiate with the seller. They wanted 2,000 extra. So I'm like, you know what if I gave you an extra 5,000? And this was 2 months of just negotiating. The seller went MIA on me. It started ignoring all of our calls, and we actually had to knock on the door and talk to them. And they said, if you get an extra $5,000, we're fine. And you know what? I'm like, let's save this deal. We're probably going to net 15 now or 20, whatever. But guess what? 2 months happened after that, and the property appreciated an extra $15,000. That's right. The property appreciated an extra $15,000. And guess who is set to make money from this? Me. So I give the seller an extra $5,000. The property went up $15,000. That means my net equity on the deal went up $10,000. That means I'm actually making more money now than if I wasn't and the seller didn't want to back out. So what could I have done? I had the cash buyer already locked up. I tried to get more money out of the cash buyer. They didn't really want to budge. They knew the property appreciated and they tried to get a new deal. I explained to the cash buyer that we got a new contract, and they're like, fine, we'll give you a little more money, and we know the property appreciated. So what I did to make it a really good deal, this cash buyer buys a lot of properties from us. So what we did was I gave an extra $5,000 to the cash buyer of just a deal. So we bumped our net proceeds just to make sure everything's smooth from start to finish, A to Z for this deal. We're netting now around $30,000 on this assignment deal, and it's just pumped up. We're going out here and we're going to go get the check. It's exciting. We're actually making an extra $30,000 because the seller wanted to renegotiate. I think the really cool lesson in this is you can still make money when the seller wants out of the deal. It's amazing. Little magic trick we're doing. Truly amazing how we're pulling this off, and it's awesome. But at the end here, it took an extra 3 months just of renegotiating, stress with all the seller. They had to redo the moving plans. A lot of time has passed, and I'm growing my hair out. We got a new studio. Everything's got a lot more crazier around here, and our following has just been insanely just blowing up. And it's been crazy, the growth for the 3 months, but I did not want to end this wholesaling documentary. This project has been something I've been working on. It's a passion project of mine, and I'm so glad I can close it out. We finally got the check. Something tried to derail me last week, and the seller said, I cannot believe this. They actually got the HUD, which is the settlement statement, which shows the financial statements of the closing for the whole transaction, how much the seller was getting, how much the cash buyer had to pay. And the seller said, I can't believe it's an extra $1,000 I have to pay in extra taxes and in doc stamps. And there's some state taxes you have to pay, and they just were not happy. And they're like, I'm not selling it anymore. And I was freaking out. I was like, oh my gosh. I got through the entire hurdle. We're actually making more money. So I agreed. You know what, Mr. Seller? I'm going to pay for it all. I'm going to pay for the extra taxes and those doc stamps. He's like, fine, we'll close. And today's closing day, and I got word from the title company that the seller signed. This deal, it was not my easiest deal. That's the least. That is one thing I can tell you right now. This is not my easiest deal. But guess what? The deal finally stinking sold. That's it, guys. It's sold. We're going to go to the title company right now. We're going to pick up the check, and we're going to get our money. So let's go. All right, guys. It's time to get that money. Let's go to the closing. I am outside the title company. Let's get paid. Undercover right now. Woo! All right, let's go to the studio. I'm not going to open the check, and we're going to see what's inside of it, because I know it's a surprise what the final price is, so it's going to be a really fun one. Let's drive over. Boom! I'm magically back, guys, and guess what I have here? I got a check in my hand. That's it, guys. The money is here. I got the money. What are we going to do? This is exciting, guys. So let's open the sucker up and see how much money I got. So I told you guys we're net around 30 grand, and oh my Lord. Let's see if you guys can see it from here. Oh my goodness gracious. $28,409.85. Let me make sure it's in frame here for you guys. That's the check, guys. $28,409.85. Wow. That is a pretty penny right there. And for most it's a life changer for most. I remember my first wholesaling real estate deal, and it changed my life forever. And it is so exciting, really, to go out here and see other people's lives change from the education content that I'm putting out for wholesaling real estate here. So I am just so grateful for the amount of support you guys have been giving me on this channel. And I'm just so happy the check is here. I promised you that the check was going to be in hand at the end of the documentary, and it's finally here. It's kind of a relief we finally got paid on that deal. That was a mess of a deal, but it is done. Shout out to my great title company in Port St. Lucie. They really did a lot of favors for me about how difficult the seller was. They kept reaching out. They kept calling when the seller wasn't answering, and we finally got this deal done. So shout out to the title company. Going to make around $30,000 net minus this, so $28,409.85 for wholesaling real estate. That's amazing. That's around our average assignment fee now. Our average wholesale is roughly $40,000 to $50,000, but overall, that's amazing. I mean, I remember my first deal making $25,000. That changed my entire life forever. And me being able to consistently do 4 or 5 of these checks every single month, it's changed my financial future and my destiny forever. I am so grateful for the lessons I've learned through wholesaling. And at 21 years old now, from my first deal, $25,000 at 17 years old, a lot has changed. And the ability to consistently make money through wholesaling real estate has been one of the biggest blessings in my life. And I'm just so blessed that I'm able to go behind a camera here and show you exactly how I'm doing it and to delegate the systems, get it going. But truthfully, I want you to learn the lesson here is anyone can learn wholesaling real estate. I believe in this documentary film, we held your hand the entire process here to show you wholesaling real estate from start to finish. So what did I do? So remember, we had that motivated seller. They wanted to sell their property for cash. What we did is we contacted them. We got with them. We actually met them at the property. We got a contract signed, which is basically an agreement with me and the seller for me to actually buy that property for a specific price. From there, what I did was I actually found someone who was actually looking to buy more properties. They're going to renovate it, and they wanted to buy it. So what I did is, as you saw in the last episode, is I walked that cash buyer through the property. They agreed to buy it, and at the end, I actually assigned the contract. I sold the rights to that contract for $38,000 net. It was about $28,409.85, but roughly made about $30,000 on this. So I sold that contract for $30,000. Not much work. I think I spent maybe 7-8 hours, and most of that was driving to the property. A lot of follow-up. Usually it's about 4 hours roughly on an assignment and a wholesaling deal, but this was about 7 because it's a little more work than usual. But overall, we got the property done. So I signed that contract. I signed an assignment of contract, selling that contract to that cash buyer. The seller went and actually paid $30,000 above my contract price, all together in a lump sum to the title company to buy the property. The seller got the original price that I agreed with them. I got that $30,000. The seller signed the deed over. They signed the property over to that cash buyer. I made $30,000. The cash buyer's going to win. The seller got their money. The cash buyer's probably going to put $50,000, $60,000, maybe even $70,000 in it. They're probably going to make $30,000 net on that flip, but they're going to do it for like 9 to 12 months of work. It's definitely not worth the ROI with us, but that's what we did. We make $30,000. We're in and out. We do 4 or 5 of those a month. It's absolutely amazing. It's truthfully one of the biggest game changers in my life, and I'm so blessed I can help you guys out there. And if you guys want to know more about the wholesaling process, I actually have a free wholesaling course. It's like this documentary, but it's way, way more in detail. The marketing, the acquisitions, me actually closing deals in front of you, more cash buyer walkthroughs. It's like this documentary, but like 100 of them, and they're all specifically organized perfectly. It's a $10,000 course I absolutely give away for free. I am truthfully so grateful for your support you guys give me on this YouTube channel. It means everything to me. Guys, thank you so much. I'm just so grateful for this. The one thing I want you guys to learn about this is you just got to keep hammering on these deals. Finish strong. Go out there, close wholesaling deals, and change your life forever. Finish strong. Grind out there, hustle. I know it's abused in this industry, but go out there and just start wholesaling. Action is where the success is, and that's the one thing I want you to take out of this is start action today. Make a game plan. Go out there, start wholesaling, find these sellers, and go out there and get a deal. I'm telling you, it's not difficult. This process of wholesaling is not crazy hard. You just got to go out here and do the grind, the discipline, and the motivation to go out there. I'm telling you, discipline, discipline, discipline. Having the discipline to go out there, cold call for hours, drive for dollars for hours, cold call those deals, put bandit signs out. It's the discipline that will push you past that point of motivation to go out there and get wholesaling deals. This is Zach signing out. Check out freewholesaling.com. Cannot say it enough. FREEWHOLESALING. Feel like I'm a spelling bee here, but go to freewholesaling.com. It will change your life forever. Thank you so much. Have a blessed one.